Welcome back to the show. You're watching this night of Esports Cup racing tonight. You join us for the Week Wi-Fi Solutions Cup a little bit later than planned, but I hope you enjoyed the A Logo Cup in the previous one. Joining me in the commentary box for this one, as I can't do it on my own. Point scoring means adding up, and I can't do that on my own. So joining me is Andy Campbell. Andy, how are you tonight?
I'm very good, thank you, Kieran. I've tried my best during the previous cup there to add up as quick as I could and give you a hand on that one, but I think between doing that and commentary I might be struggling this time, so thankfully we've got someone doing the work for us on this occasion, so we'll keep an eye on that in the stream. But sure to be exciting race between these six teams. Hockenheim is going to be a very fast-paced action. You also got that long run up to the hairpin at turn 6 at the top end of the track. It's probably going to be the best place for overtaking, and we're going to have some interesting action that I am absolutely sure of that once again.
Absolutely, like you said, the German Grand Prix, and I've written out all the teams here. There's no doubt in my mind what's going on here, and you might hear some of us go quiet time and again just because well, we have some points to add up. Hopefully we won't have to do that because Alan will be with us, hopefully in and around the stream, keeping us up to date, so we won't give away any points, we won't give away any results, just in case Alan's updating it in the chat. He's keeping an eye on that for us. But yeah, the German Grand Prix, good amount of overtaking, especially on the DRS zones. Should provide some good action throughout. So the teams then, for TTG we have Lambo, Poe and Spike. For F1 TS Hub we have MLA, Kian and Reflow. TUF2 we have Stam, Alex and Katamise. That's how I'm just going to call you Cat. There you go, that makes it easier for the rest of us. VSR we have Blizzard, Josh and Francis. We have Louis as a reserve, so we'll confirm who is racing in just a second. For IRC we have Vanquish, Karting and Slimbo, and then for CSR we have Billy, Paris and Leon. Andy, do you know many of the drivers tonight?
Apart from obviously the likes of Lambo, Poe and Spike, of course, from TTFL 1 on Thursday nights for yourself in the last couple of weeks, and Blizzard and Josh from the race just there in Singapore on Thursday night. I'm going to be completely honest, no I do not. I know some of the Coscania boys, but not the ones that are racing tonight, but I do know that some of them are very quick, and I know of F1 TS Hub as well, although I don't know too many of the drivers that they've got, so it's going to be a wee bit of a different one, although is that Z-Flow, the one that we know of? It's not, is it?
Reflow, I know of Reflow.
No, it's a different one.
I know of Reflow.
No, it's someone else. I was thinking of someone else there. Sorry, but yeah, it's going to be interesting for me. I'll be learning them as I go along. But either way, you know, this is the A teams is how they want to put it. Some of them. So this is, you know, what we're going to expect to be the best of the best from these teams. So it's going to be fast paced. It's going to be frantic. 50% race around Hockenheim. Short qualifying, usual sort of league setup. It's definitely going to be fast, frantic and exciting, and it'll be interesting to see. Oh no, the weather's clear, so we've made sure of that one at least, so there'll be no rain this time at least upcoming. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting race for sure, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. Obviously we were actually doing the points obviously for the previous cup there, the A Logo one, and then Steph cut the stream before we could type into the chat the results. So I don't know if you want to just quickly run through for anyone joining in, just to let them know the official results of it from the last cup, just before we get started.
Yeah, the worst kept secret of the A Logo Cup. It was AMZQ winning with 49 points. In second place was CSRB with 38 points. In third place was TTFL, they scored 36 points. Fourth place TTL F1 scored 27 points. TTL F2 in fifth scored 9 points. IRC, all their drivers retired, 0 points for them. They claimed 6th place. So we've had our fair share of drama in the A Logo Cup. So we've also had Jam and Blizzard, both from Visceral, confirming that it is Josh, Blizzard and Francis racing tonight. Louis is not. So thank you guys for that one. We'll try and keep up with the chat as much as we can, just so we can keep up to date and keep talking to you guys. Obviously we've got I've got sheets of paper here, literally writing everything down. You don't know how committed I am to this.
One of these days, I'm going to take a photo of what I write down in some races because it's ridiculous. It's like full A4 twice over sheets of paper and all sorts. So I make sure I do my studies beforehand. As you know from the Thursday night with the Russian Grand Prix, where I posed the trivia question as well.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, absolutely. Just there you go. Played right into my hands there. What, I don't know. Anyway, yes. So we have the Weak Wi-Fi Solutions Cup. We have 18 drivers, hopefully ready to go. Obviously, you can see in the top there we have 3 spectators, soon to be 4 because Maze is watching as well. So 4 spectators, only 2 commentators though. Maze and Alan are on doing the job what myself and Andy did in the last race and trying to keep track of the points and all the standings as we went. Well, I say the both of us. Andy was doing that. I every time I was like, Andy, how are you doing this so quickly? I'd have completed 2 drivers in their positions, and Andy was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to post it. Oh right, okay. You do that, Andy.
And the thing that's even brilliant about it is I actually failed maths at school, so there you go. But yeah, still managed to do it somehow. I put it down to the work experience of working in a call centre, which is as boring and monotonous as you can believe it to be.
Well, I don't know about that, you know. It's I don't know who should put me in charge of the points, but you know it keeps happening. So what can you do? Fantastic amount of people. Oh, fantastic amount of people turning up for tonight. So that's all good. We're down to 17 drivers, so maybe there is a late driver change. I'm going to try and go through what I'm going to try and do.
Maze is still in there as well, so unless he's replacing someone, but
this is
it's actually 16 if he's not racing.
Yeah, we've got. I'm just trying to look through all of the teams. So we have CSR all here and ready to go.
Oliviesa, Coscania, they're all in. IRC are all in.
Yeah.
Spike's not in for TG. I've not seen him yet. And that's what makes me think is Maze maybe replacing him. I don't know.
No, I don't think it is. Obviously.
No.
As soon as we know, we'll let you know. But it's just a case of ticking off every name and seeing who's left over.
Absolutely.
Back to the good old days.
Okay.
This is the silence I was talking about that you might hear. Where both of us are trying to tick down names and write down on this sheet of paper.
I've gave up. I'm just going to wait until it goes on, and then I'll tick it just as you're introducing qualifying. I think it's going to be the easiest way for me to do it. To be honest with you, but yeah, fun and games.
I'm still trying to scroll through. Oh, Jay is here now. So he must. Is he racing for TTG? I do not know. Well, we have Lambo here. We have. Do we have Poe here? Poe is here. I think Jay left again, so that's that. So yeah, we are just waiting for a TTG driver, I believe. I'm not seeing, unless I'm blind, I'm not seeing Alex in here. I know he's here. Might be under a different name. This is why we do the checks beforehand. Hello to everyone in the stream. Hello Leon. Hello Samuel. Good to have you in the stream tonight as we basically we're back to school here, taking a register of everybody. So Spike
I've suddenly got a theme tune to Biker Grove or something playing in my head now. That shows you how old I am.
So Jay has joined again, but now he's left. No, he's still here. This is wildly confusing. This is what happens with cup races. There are always, without fail, there are late driver changes without fail.
Okay, so Cascania's confirmed, VSR's confirmed.
Yeah.
Cascania's confirmed, VSR are confirmed, and IRC are confirmed, so we're those 3.
Yeah, we're looking at TUF. I'm missing Alex, unless someone can enlighten us. And because there's, yeah, this is all this silence going on. Hello to everyone joining the stream, by the way. We will get underway very shortly as soon as we have everyone here. I'm just as confused as, well, anything really. Right, so it looks like Jay is replacing Spike. So that's that then. So Jay is in for Spike. Struggling to join, that's why. TUF. I'm not seeing Alex, unless he's under a different name. He's struggling to join. No. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay, so is he here now? No. Okay. We have 18 drivers. So
yeah, one of them's Alan, our point scorer. He's came off the spectator mode,
and we still have.
So that's why we've got 18, because he was in spectator mode a wee moment ago. So we're missing one, I think.
Oh yeah, we are missing one. Oh, because Alan hasn't clicked spectator. That's why it's appearing as a driver.
Yeah.
That makes sense now. That makes sense. There we go. That is what was causing us all this problem. Okay, so we are waiting for Alex. Probably got the pesky CP7 bug. So yeah, now Alan's gone to a spectator. It's now gone to 17 drivers. So hopefully Alex will be able to join us later on down the line. Look at that, 33 people watching. Hello to every one of you. This should be a fantastic one. This is obligatory tweet time. Why don't you do some talking, Andy, whilst I write a tweet?
Yeah, I'll do that if you give me a wee sec. So obviously it's I'll give you what I always like to do. I always like to give sort of track facts as we're starting to go into the session now. So it's the Hockenheim ring, obviously in its shortened form from what it used to be back in the day, where it used to be the long blast through the forest, high speed. It's now obviously a much shortened version, but still a very fast track with some very tricky corners. Going to have obviously the two DRS zones. First one is after turn 1 towards turn 2, and then obviously the other one through that curved parabolica up towards the hairpin at turn 6. It's a 2.842 mile track, and I'll give you the exact number of laps in a moment, because obviously we're only doing 50% race distance. The German Grand Prix, obviously, as anyone will know, has been on the calendar for many years, including going all the way back to pre-war times. The first German Grand Prix held in 1926, and there's been 77 German Grand Prix, been numerous tracks. Hockenheim has been one, Nürburgring, the Nordschleife, obviously back in the 70s before safety got in the way, was another one amongst others, including the likes of Avis in Berlin, which was two autobahns side by side with two large corners at the end. So it's been a number of races, but it's now back on the calendar full time due to a new agreement with F1 management, so it's great to see it back. And obviously with German drivers, German team and Mercedes as well kicking about, it's always a good one to see. But we are now into the qualifying session, and the tyres to expect. Let's see, what is the tyres for this one? I can see ultra softs, medium, so I'm going to guess it's ultra soft, maybe super soft and medium, or soft and medium. I'm not too sure. I'll confirm it shortly. But certainly ultra soft and medium, I can tell you that much, as some drivers head out onto the track, and we've got a mixture of ultra soft and mediums on the cars that are heading out. First one out of the pits is Slimbo Dude for IRC F1 in the Haas, and he is probably going to be the first one to set a lap time unless he is overtaken on his out lap. So we'll just keep an eye to see who will be first to set a lap. It's an 18-minute qualifying session, so it should give drivers enough time to set at least 2, possibly even 3 back-to-back runs if they're quick enough getting into the pits without getting held up. But even though it's a quick track and over 2.5 miles, it will easily get congested through the stadium section. Big amphitheatre in there, the German crowd with their klaxons going, usually in real life. Very loud area, so expect to see some backup, and if you see yellow flag sector 3, that is probably what will be causing it, if you see that in the top left hand corner.
Yeah, we've got Slimbo, that dude here, then heading his way into the stadium section of turn 13, through the S section of 14 and 15. Obviously Hermann Tilke redesigned the track in the early 2000s from the massive Hockenheim ring that included those long straights coupled with chicanes through the forest and through the trees. The track was redesigned for safety reasons in 2002, and we've been racing at this Hockenheim ring ever since, even if we've been in and out of it swapping with the Nürburgring until the Nürburgring ran into financial troubles. Now we just run the Hockenheimring every other year as it stands. But F1 2018 saw it return to the calendar, and for many leagues it was the first time in 2 seasons that it had been on the calendar. So it's good to see it back, and we are enjoying our racing here at the German Grand Prix.
Yeah, definitely so, and just obviously it's now back on the calendar permanently, full time, so even in next season's game it will be on the calendar again. It was confirmed by the FIA, so it is now a permanent fixture once again, and it's good to see that, along with the likes of the French Grand Prix coming back as well. Hopefully something can be sorted with the British Grand Prix, because obviously that is due to be finishing after next season with Silverstone exiting their contract, but hopefully something will be sorted. But coming up to the end of the first sort of laps, and I'm just trying to find Slimbo. Dude, there he is. He's coming through the last couple of corners now in the Haas on the ultra soft purple tyres. He's going to be the first one to set a time. What is it going to be? And it is a 1 minute 11.6. I'm looking out for Cat in the background in the Red Bull and the medium tyres, and that's Stam in the background. Sorry, a 1:11.7 ultra softs as well. So very close already with the first 2 over the line, and it's going to keep an eye on that timesheet, because it is going to tumble and it is going to change very rapidly as most of the cars are out on track. There's only about 5 cars in the pits just now, so it'll be hard to keep an eye on these, and we'll just do our best to keep track of who's taking over what places. But only 2 laps at the moment, and they're both ultra softs, only a tenth between them.
Absolutely, and when we come to this track, a lot of discussion was had, especially about the Hockenheimring, about turn 1. Now, in this game, you can get away slightly with all 4 wheels off the track, but it has been decided between everybody that it is up to the game to punish offenders, not up to the people afterwards. So the game and the power of the penalties at turn 1 is entirely into the game's hands. Leon there setting a 1:12.2 on a set of ultra soft tyres, and by the looks of it he's backing off and heading back to the pit lane. As you said, Andy, the Hockenheimring is such a quick track. You've got 1:11.6 there is the fastest, as Refos it's a 1:14 on a set of medium tyres, that you can actually possibly get away with 3 runs, even with going back to the pits after every single one. As we see Leon here heading towards turn 7 then, this fast right-hander, chuck the car in and hope it sticks, and we'll now jump on board with Billy here, who is, I believe, on a lap here. He's on a set of medium tyres as he makes his way through to turn 11. Careful on the exit there on the left hand side, don't get too greedy with the curb as you now chuck the car into turn 12. Very easy to lose the back end there as we now head up towards turn 13. This stadium section there, the DHL signs all too familiar to one German in a Ferrari, as we now head our way through the S section of 14 and 15, round the right hander of 16, round the final corner of turn 17 and towards the line. And what can Billy do on a set of medium tyres? He sets a 1:12.3, which is a pretty good lap time on the medium tyres.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent lap time as well from Billy in that medium tyres. As I say, I'm now able to confirm it is ultra soft and medium, so there's 2 gaps there. You've got a gap between the ultra soft and the soft tyres, usually the super softs in the middle, so that's going to make it interesting for the strategies as well, to see what goes on there. And obviously with it being a dry race, obviously the top 10 have to start on the tyres that they qualify on, so if someone can get into the top 10 on those medium tyres or even the soft tyres, they could have a strategic advantage later on into the race. So we're only 5 times though so far, we're nearly 8 minutes into the session, so a lot of them deciding to hold back at the moment before making a lap. A lot of them in pit lane at the moment, and we've only got 5 lap times on the board, so I'm very interested to see that. So I really thought a lot of people would have been out getting a lap under their belt and getting a banker in, so to speak, but a lot of people waiting. And obviously I'm watching at the moment Reflow and the Williams just backing off before the Mercedes stand to allow a couple of guys through. That's something we're going to need to watch out for, especially at the end of the session. When everyone is jockeying for position, it could we maybe see someone that missed getting across the line for the last lap because they've had to slow down to avoid some traffic. Maybe it could be interesting to see if that does happen. We've got over 10 minutes still to go, so still plenty of time at the moment. And a hello to all 39 of you that are watching at the moment. Fantastic to have you along and seeing the likes of the F1 TS Hub page posting up there. I can see CSR Hamilton, who's someone I've commentated on before in AOR. IRC F1 Esports are in there as well, cheering on their drivers. So we've got a good number. If you get involved in the chat, myself and Kieran will try to keep up to speed with it. But it's still Slimbo Dude, who is representing IRC F1, pole position, provisional pole at the moment, but just less than a tenth clear of Stam, who is running for TUF2 here tonight.
Karting there of IRC, setting a 112.6 as we saw on the screen there. Stam there, 111.7, which is P2 right now. So only 7 lap times at the moment with 10 minutes to go exactly. I think most people are just sort of holding off and waiting for the track to get to its optimum optimum track surface and temperature and whatnot. Of course, Andy, we don't get the telemetry that the guys down on track do. Obviously the track may heat up or cool down depending on the session, and we could see some faster lap times heading towards the end of the session. Obviously it's clear to allow good racing, fast racing, and allow the fastest drivers to prove and make their mark in this Weak Wi-Fi Solutions Esports Cup. Stam then comes around the final corner. He's coming towards the start finish line, and he is now on a flying lap. Still Paris there, setting a 114.4 for Casconia there, on a set of medium tyres. So the tyres, as Andy was saying, we'd confirmed to you once we knew, is ultra soft, soft and medium. Those are the tyres that are available to all the drivers in the German Grand Prix.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm currently watching Blizzard for VSR on his first flying lap. He's on the medium tyres as Kian goes fastest at 1 minute 10.9. So that's nearly 7 times faster than what anyone's done. So that's a really quick lap there from Kian off F1 TS Hub, putting it into a provisional pole at the moment with a really nice lap time. First one to get under 1 minute 11. Just inside the 1 minute 10s with a 0.997. I'm keeping an eye on Blizzard at the moment. Obviously he's a very quick driver, got a bit of a good reputation, multiple championship league wins before, and known quite well for being pretty quick. Was very close to the wall coming into the stadium section. I'll be really interested to see what time he can put on here, because he's on those medium tyres, the hardest tyre possible. Comes through the quick left, right, and then the final 2 right-handers. Got the drag strip off to the left-hand side there, final corner, puts it onto the exit curve, a little bit of a slide. What's his time going to be? 4th place, he's a second down, but that's on the medium tyres. That is a stonking lap from the VSR man.
Well, Blizzard always over 1 lap, wants to prove himself, and maybe a little bit of sandbagging at the moment. Even so, medium tyres 112.0, and is that a teaser of what we can expect? SRL League say Billy will go quicker. He was amazing at Hockenheim last week, so we've got to watch out for him then, Andy, as we head into the closing stages, or just over halfway through qualifying.
Yeah, definitely. If he's going to be that quick, that could set up possibly a pole position shootout. You could see, because obviously Billy has set that lap time, I believe, on the medium tyres as well. He's currently 7th. I think he set that time on the mediums. If I look on here, yes, it looks like it. So if he's still got time in the bag, then that could be very interesting indeed. Vanquish just coming over the line in the Ferrari now to set his first fast lap. In fact, no, sorry, he's on an out lap actually, sorry, but it looks at on the soft tyres because he's not got a time to go up there. So we've still got 3 drivers to set a lap time. Vanquish on one now. MLA is on a lap at the moment, or he's on his out lap, getting out of the way of one of the McLarens there. And Jay for TTG is still to set his first lap time. So 6.5 minutes to go. It's not going to be too long now. The last 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes or so, is going to be absolutely frantic, and there's going to be the equivalent of the any motorway traffic jam that you see here up in Scotland towards the end of the lap as we get close to the end of the session. Just over 6 minutes to go. It's Kian on pole still at the moment. Can anybody top that time?
We're having a look here. Jay here, racing for TTG, is making his way down this curved straight, if you like to call it that. Going through turn 5 this is, with the DRS wide open. A heavy braking zone of turn 6. All the way from 300 plus down to 60 kilometers per hour. Such a tough braking zone to get right, and if you get it wrong, and you can easily lock the tyres up. Jay then trying to pull the car together for a good lap here, as we saw in Singapore last time out. It's very tough to get a lap down, but the guys out here are doing it well so far. Only one person's the 1:10s right now, and even so, Kian's only done it by 0.003 of a second, but take nothing away from him, it's still a 1:10. It's better than what I could do, that's for sure. As Jay making his way around the final two corners then. What can he do then for TTG? As he sets a 1:11.1 and he goes P2. Good lap from Jay then. Had to retire from the previous races for internet troubles, and you saw a little bit of lag there from Jay, so maybe hopefully that won't cost his race too much, because that's a really good qualifying time there for now.
Definitely is. There was a good qualifying as well from Vanquish in the soft tyres, under a second as well, currently 5th place. Just going to quickly point out, Chris Belko in the chat asking, are points given to the league's constructors or just individually? There's 3 drivers per team. We have 6 teams in total. We've got TT Gaming, F1 TS Hub, TUF2, VSR, IRC F1 and Coscania, and the points are 25 points down, so 25 for first, 22 for second, 19 for third, 16 for fourth, and then 14 for fifth, and it drops down a point every position down to 18th place. And to find the winner will be the team that has the most points cumulatively between its 3 drivers. But to get those points, they have to finish the race. If they DNF or they disconnect out, then they receive no points for that driver, and only any other drivers can finish. We've seen it in the A Logo Cup. There was a couple of teams that had drivers out. I think there was only one team had all 3 drivers finish, and funnily enough it was the winners, I believe, in that one. So that is how it will be decided, and we do have a man on the ground, our own version of Ted Kravitz, doing the points for us, which is Alan, who raced in the last event. So he'll be hopefully in the chat keeping you up to date with that. And we are going to try and avoid speculating on who is winning, to just keep the tension built there for you. So we'll just keep that one there. But Carton in third has retired from the session, so he's going to be no better than third place. Carton, the IRC F1 driver. So that's interesting. He's maybe decided he can't go any quicker than that and decided to just sit out and wait for the race now. So 3 minutes to go. Most of the drivers in the pits. Who is going to be able to get, anyone going to be able to top that 1:10.997? And just to show you, it's 3 times quicker than the pole time this year, because that was set by Sebastian Vettel, and it was a 1:11.212. So we're already quicker than that for the top 3 drivers, and I do expect we'll see a few more up there before the end of this session. 2.5 minutes to go though. It's anybody's guess who's going to take this one though.
Yeah, we saw at the bottom there Louis joining the session. He is a TUF driver, so he will be joining into the race, but he will be starting from P18. So not the end of the world. At least it's better than having no drivers whatsoever, as Andy was saying earlier on. Every point matters, every position matters. It's all a point scoring position, so long as you finish the race. If you rage quit or anything like that, you don't get any points. So it's really important though, if you do have a bad race, to just at least get it to the line and score your team some valuable points. As we're riding on board with Stam here as he heads down towards turn 6, that very heavy braking zone, into first gear there. One of the only places on the calendar where you actually have to go into first gear. Another one being the old Lowe's hairpin. Now it's just called the hairpin at the Monaco Grand Prix. Very few places. There's Jay still in P2. You got Cat there setting a P4, 1:11.3. So he's on to the second row of the grid right now, as I need to put it to fastest lap. I can't work out the lap times if it's all the gap. That's the problem. Cat then decides enough is enough, he can't do any more, and that is his session over. Billy meanwhile is heading towards turn 2, 3 and 4, and he's currently on a set of soft tyres, so he's looking to try and play this as a strategy game and see if he can get a fast time on a set of soft tyres, and hope that that'll open up the one stop, a very comfortable one stop here as he breaks in towards the hairpin. The important thing about this lap though, you can't lock up, you can't make any mistakes on those tyres, because if they are your fastest tyre, of course in the top 10 you have to start on them. We've got Francis as well in P10. Don't forget, he's on the medium tyres right now. Now onto the softs. He sets a 112.0 on the medium tyres, but he's running on the softs now. Onto a flying lap he goes. So he's looking for an alternate strategy as well. Don't forget to watch out for Blizzard, currently on a set of soft tyres as Josh retires from the session down in P12, and Kian has got a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Josh there. So that is a disaster for Kian. So wherever he finishes, you can see there as it caught out Blizzard. Yeah, Blizzard. It caught out Blizzard massively there. And, well, not seeing the yellow flag come up on his dash there. And that is his qualifying run abandoned. So Blizzard would be starting outside of the top 10. Disaster for VSR there for Blizzard.
Definitely so. I just caught it as well. I was skipping through to see who was where as qualifying finishes. So we're now at the end of the session, so you can't start a lap. We've currently got VSR Francis on the screen in the McLaren coming through the stadium section, currently 11th, and on the soft tyres. Can he improve on that lap time? Runs very wide through the second last corner, pins the throttle onto the main straight. Can he improve? And he goes up to 5th place in the soft tyres. So that's going to give him a strategic advantage for sure. Who else is on a lap? ZR Flow into 10th place in the soft tyre as well. The only other one that's on a lap now is MLA in the other Williams. And I don't know because it jumped away at the end there, so I'm unable to tell if he improved. He went 10th, so he actually knocked the other Williams out there. So we have a grid, and it looks like half of them are going to be on the soft tyres as well. It looked like only the top 5 or 6 were ultra softs.
Yeah, absolutely. Bear in mind that Kian has to take a 5-place grid penalty. The game has given him that. So he did grab pole position, but he'll be starting from 6th place. So we'll go through them as they read here. JP2, Karting in 3rd place, Cat in 4th, Francis in 5th, Poe in 6th, Slimbo in 7th, Stam in 8th, Billy in 9th, MLA in 10th, Reflow 11th, Vanquish 12th, Leon in 13th, Blizzard 14th, Paris 15th, Josh in 16th, Lambo 17th. We've got Louis for TUF not taking part in qualifying. He will start from the back of the grid. The top 13 then separated by under a second. This is going to be close, Andy.
It's definitely going to be close indeed. As you say, second between over the top 10 as well. But a lot of drivers there as well that are on the soft tyres, which is really going to mix up the strategies. We're going to have our work cut out trying to keep track of who's where, who's pitted, who's on what strategy, because we've got the front lot of runners, a couple of runners are on ultra soft, and we've got a couple of guys on the soft tyres, and then a few more on ultra soft, and then everyone else behind is either going to be soft or outside the top 10. You'd imagine there's going to be 1 or 2 at least that are going to try and go for the medium tyres, so it's going to be pit stops are going to be frantic to keep an eye up on. I just want to point out there's a lot of comments going on. I'm trying to keep up with them all. Thank you very much to everyone joining, but I've noticed one here which has just reminded me of being a youngster. SRL League F1 just saying, let's hope Francis doesn't go to the food store mid-session like in SRL Season 2 at Germany, and all that's done is remind me of a 1993 advert that Nigel Mansell was in while he raced in Champ Car, and that just again shows you how much I've been watching this for and how old I am, because I was only about 6 at that time.
Yeah, like I say, Andy, you come up with some great trivia from time to time. 34 laps at the Hockenheimring, so as Jay will be starting from P1, as I'm trying to find out where Kian is. Kian's actually starting from P11. Well, that's a strange one. He was on pole position, took a 5-place grid penalty, so he should be starting P6, but the game has given him double. Maybe it came up wrong on our screen and he's actually been given a 10-place grid penalty. But yeah, so he'll be starting from P11. Obviously he has to start on the tyres he qualified on, because he did set one of the 10 fastest times in the session. That then promotes a couple of the drivers around him to upper position. So Jay, Karting and Cat, they're all on the ultra soft tyres. Francis and Poe, they're starting on a U set of soft tyres, with Slimbo and Stam here also on a set of ultra soft tyres. Billy and MLA, they're starting on soft tyres, but Reflow behind them in P10 is starting on a brand new set of soft tyres. Kian in 11th on used ultra softs because he set one of the 10 fastest times. Vanquish, Leon, they're on some soft tyres. Blizzard there in P14 had to abandon that run because he lost the car through the instant zone. He's starting from P14, but will that be a blessing in disguise for Blizzard? He's starting on a set of medium tyres. Paris here on a set of soft tyres. Josh on a set of mediums, as is Lambo in P17. And Louis, who didn't take part in qualifying, will get a brand new set of soft tyres. But if my guess is correct, he has to run a default setup. Because he wasn't allowed to take part in qualifying. Whether that's correct or not is I might be making it up completely, you never know. But we're ready here for 34 laps of the Weak Wi-Fi Solutions Esports Cup.
Yeah, just quickly on the chat, Kian's actually put up, it was a 10 place grid penalty he got. We only seen the 5 place on the screen, but it was actually 10 places, so it is correct, if that's correct. So thank you for pointing that out to us there on the chat. But here we go, I'll let you take it away for the start of the race, my friend.
Well, thank you very much. Here we are then, tensions rising for the Weak Wi-Fi Solutions Esports Cup as we go here towards 5 red lights. The Esports Cup is underway, and what are the starts like? Looks like Jay has got a fantastic start, but karting hasn't got the best start. Going into turn 1, have a look at him and Kat going side by side in towards turn 1 as they head up now towards turn 2. Let's see behind them, as there's a whole melee of cars behind them here as they head towards turn 2, 3 and 4, but they're keeping it clean for now as they now make their way through turn 3. A whole gaggle of cars behind MLA here, as you can see them almost 3 wide going through here. We've got yellow flags in sectors 1 and 2. Is that involving Louis? Yes, it is. Louis is around, and does he have any front wing damage, I wonder? Have a look on that right hand side there. I'm not sure on any cinematic cameras, we'll have to check on him later. Meanwhile then, Jay leads coming out of turn 6, and you can see here karting isn't done with Kat then as they head towards turn 7. Shut the car in, look at this, Kat is right on the outside, it becomes the inside for turn 8. Karting isn't done with him there, but he's got no more room, and Kat moves up into P2 there with Francis in P4, Slimbo P5, Billy in 6th, Stam in 7th there, but it's anybody's guess as to who's going to grab what position, Andy. This is an intense start, but with Louis losing out, coming on the exit of turn 3 there, he spun the car around, he finds himself all the way at the back, but pretty close going for now.
Definitely so. I almost seen it looked like they were nearly 3 wide coming out of the hairpin as well at one point, and obviously that's very narrow on the way out. But the cover across lights, that sun going off in the background, one of the Williams getting into the gravel. It looks like that was Reflow losing a place at least there to Blizzard, who's made up that one, and Reflow lost another place to Leon. They're free going into the first. Oh goodness, I'm lost where I am. Coming into turn 2 there, and it was just action everywhere, cars all over the place. I'm currently watching just behind the leaders. I'm watching Slimbo, but obviously Carton just ahead and Belly just behind as well. I'm just trying to see who's made up the most places so far on this racetrack, and it will be Paris, who's made up 5 places in 10th. They're free, hitting into the hairpin one more time, and that has lost a few places there for, and Francis has taken the lead. He jumped through into the lead there, just action everywhere. I'm struggling to keep up with this right now.
Absolutely, going into turn 6 there, it looked like Slimbo there locked up and hit the side of one of the other cars. It caused a little bit of carnage coming out on the exit of turn 6 there, and Francis took advantage and he's taken the lead of the race there. I was going to say, Jay is disconnected from the session, that's why he's fallen so far back. He's now down in P16. If he can rejoin the session, he can obviously take control back of the car, but if he never rejoins the session, he will not be scoring those valuable points that TTG needs. So he finds himself 17th at the moment as a ghost car. We complete lap number 2 then of this Grand Prix, and VSR Francis leads the way from Kat, Billy, Karting, Slimbo, Kian, Poe, Paris, Blizzard and MLA. That is your top 10 so far as Blizzard sets the fastest lap. Billy is not hanging around here, going in towards turn 2. He's got the inside of Kat there as we see Paris trying to make a move on Poe in the background there. So many battles in these early few laps here that we've got to keep our eye on, Andy. I'm struggling to keep up, but I'm watching on board with Billy and Kat here as we head through turn 5, now down towards turn 6. Billy goes defensive, trying to defend the inside line as we head into turn 6. They are so close right now, and Kat has to go round the outside, and that could lose him a position to Karting, the Ferrari behind him. He's got to be careful. If he attacks, he's got to defend as well. It is that close right now. It's on a knife edge, but the Ferrari of Karting was looking up the inside there, picks himself up a 3-second time penalty, as that is Blizzard there in P7 trying to make up some huge ground here. Remember, he's on the medium tyres and he's up into 7th place. He started from P14 in this race, and that's a little bit of contact between Kian and Poe. Oh, it's carnage coming into turn 13, and Poe was involved there, and that is Stam into the wall. We've got Kat getting a 5-second stop go penalty there. Stam is all the way at the back there. Well, I don't exactly know what happened, but I think Poe was a leading cause in that one. Hard to tell, though. He did tap the back of one of the cars there, spun him around, but, well, inconclusive there, that is for sure. But it's caused carnage.
I don't know which one it was. It was definitely one of the Toro Rossos into the stadium section, caught Kean, but just ahead of him, CSR Billy and the other Force India had actually spun around ahead of them already as well. Kean's into the pits. He's obviously got some front wing damage, so they're changing that nose, and he's onto another set of soft tyres, so he's going to have to pit again, because that is him putting the same set of tyres on, the same compound. So he's going to try and run long and obviously go for a short one at the end of the race. He'll be hoping for a safety car, but it was one of the Toro Rossos, I don't know if it was Lambo or Poe, but one of them caught Kean up the inside into the stadium section as Cat has retired. So that is one driver down for TUF2. They're down to 2 drivers in this cup, and Billy is retired as well, so that's another one down for Coscania, so they're down to 2 drivers also. But yeah, it was just unbelievable, just action everywhere we looked. But we're already 2 drivers down, yellow flags in all 3 sectors of the track, so goodness knows what's going on there.
Absolutely, it's been madness so far, and still Francis has kept his head down and is now 3.4 ahead of karting then, so it's a good start for VSR. At least they're leading with one of their drivers. Of course, it is a team effort though. VSR, one of their drivers may win the race, but that doesn't necessarily mean they'll be able to win the day here for their team. They rely on all of their teammates, and Billy and Kat have retired from the session, so that is a TOF driver and a Cosconia driver out of the race. They're both now down to 2 drivers in their team. Blizzard, meanwhile, is on a huge charge. He is now up into P3 on a set of medium tyres, and that's a Toro Rosso coming out of nowhere. Poe is on the attack, aggressive there, trying to go up the inside of Slimbo. Wasn't happening though, and he has to hang on to P5 for now. But what a drive from Blizzard so far. It's a VSR 1-3 right now, and they'll be hoping for a lot more in this race.
Yeah, and on those medium tyres as well, just puts him in absolute prime position strategy-wise. He can run that really long if he can keep the tyre life in the tyres, and he can really go longer than these other drivers around him who are on softer tyres, whether it be the ultra softs or the actual softs themselves. So he's got a big advantage already, and he seems to have a lot of pace in that Sauber as Slimbo in the Haas comes into the pit. So he's had enough of those ultra softs. We've got karting in the pit as well in the Ferrari, so 2 of the drivers in the ultra soft starting towards the front have decided they've had enough and they are into the pits. I'll keep an eye and see what tyres they come out on, but it is lap 6. It's VSR 1-2. Francis leads Blizzard, Poe in 3rd for TTG, and then Leon in 4th for Coscania. TTG also in 5th with Lambo, and Reflow, who is competing for F1 TS Hub, is in 6th. So that's your top 6 there, and the pit stop windows have opened up for those that were on the ultra sauce, but there's only 1 driver left on that, and that is Jay, who I don't know if he's managed to get back into the session yet, but he's down in 15th.
Yeah, hopefully your mic's okay there, Andy. It sounds a bit crackly on my end, I'm not quite sure, but I'll happily take over while you sort it out. Lambo there gets away past Leon. He made a mistake, Leon, coming out of the exit of turn 3 and got a bit sideways going through turn 4, and it's cost him the position there. Lambo was able to sneak it up the inside, and TTG at the moment occupy 3rd and 4th place. So it's a good going for them. Reflow there is behind one of the Cosconia drivers driving for F1 TS Hub. Currently finds himself in 6th place. But Josh there in P7 on a set of medium tyres. VSR here look like they're on the hunt, and they are very, very hungry for those top 3 positions. They're not going to stop until they've got them. Francis keeping his head down and trying to get that, open that up, that gap to Blizzard. But I'm not sure if team orders will come into effect there. As we look behind there, that is MLA and Paris there battling away for position. That's for P8 as they go through turn 4 now. And on towards that curved straight of turn 5. Look at this helicopter cam here as we see MLA trying to defend from Paris as they head towards turn 6. Paris here has got the outside line, and he's got the move done surely with the DRS. MLA will try and launch it up the inside. A little bit of contact there, a little bit of a collision. He's held on to the position there, but I doubt Paris will take too much of a liking to a move like that. He's got to watch out there as Lambo. Oh, that's Reflow going down the inside inside. Late decision to go for that move, but it will put him on the outside for the next corner. And Lambo here will have the inside line and just about takes it away. That's a warning sign for Lambo then to keep on it. Otherwise, he might fall victim to other cars around him. MLA, though, still defending from Paris. That's P8 right now. And Andy, oh, that's a diving move from Paris up the inside of turn 13. And somehow he's made the move work. What a move from Paris. Just launched it down the inside. Complete faith in the other driver. And up to P8 he goes.
Yeah, that was a very brave one down there. Although it's a braking zone, it's also quite a quick corner still. But he's managed to make that one work. But yeah, just absolutely all going off. We've seen there reflow really late down the inside, just into the Mercedes stand. I think it was reflow, it was late on the brakes there, and then side by side with Lambo. So good racing there to avoid contact. I'm trying to figure out. There we go, I'm watching Lambo at the moment. He's trying to chase down Blizzard. Lambo's now got the advantage of the DRS to keep up with the Sauber ahead, and Blizzard is falling back. This is giving Francis the chance to disappear up into the distance. He's got 3.2 seconds over the following pack, and Poe is all over the back of Blizzard at the moment, coming through the Mercedes stand and towards the stadium section. There's multiple penalties as well, so even at the end of this race, but remember, penalties need to be taken into effect as well, and I've tried to keep track of them, but after that frantic start with cars everywhere, I've lost count, so I've gave up, to be honest with you. Billy has left the session, but we already knew he was out. He did say in the chat he had spun. It was a shame to see that, because it looked like he was making good progress through the field early doors.
A shout out here to Louis, who didn't take part in qualifying, had to start from P18, currently in P10 for TUF2, so he's having a good race so far, just keeping his head down, making those moves stick. He's got MLA ahead of him, MLA for F1 TS Hub, so he's just going to keep his head down and keep closing in on that gap. MLA is joining in with a battle with Paris and Reflow here ahead of them, and you can see very close together as Poe, as you were saying, closing in on Blizzard. Lambo, he's trying to keep in touch with Leon there for P4, as they're all joining on into this battle for P4. As you can see, that was Poe looking at the move down the inside, but not quite there. As you can see here, that's Paris trying to go up the inside, trying to cheekily take away that position. He might have lost a bit of front wing end plate on the left hand side, though. I did see a little bit of debris fly off his car, so I'm not sure if that was a bit of damage to Paris there. If it is, it's very minor, but he's got the move done then. Up into P7 he goes.
He does indeed, and I spotted it myself, and it's been spotted in the chat. Francis got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as Leon picks one up as well, so he's only technically 9 times clear if you look at it, if this race was to end just now. And obviously with the pit stops to come up, he's going to be pitting before Blizzard, you would imagine, being on the soft tyres compared to the medium tyres, so that could come back at the end of the race. And of course, depending on what happens, all the points are up for grabs all the way down the field as long as you finish, and penalties are going to make an effect, because with the frantic start and the action-packed start that we've had, it has been quite a few penalties already dished out by the in-game stewards, but it's starting to settle down a little bit, although I'll probably just cursed it with the commentator's curse. But Francis and Blizzard are 1-2, so VSR looking pretty at the moment. Poe in third, Leon in fourth, and you can see he's got a bit of a 3 cars coming up behind, so 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th going through the turn 6 here.
Oh, huge move! That was a huge move from Paris there, just dived it down the inside of Reflow there, taking no remorse, and a little bit of contact there is a little bit of an understatement, but he makes the switch back on Lambo, and Lambo runs a little bit wide as Paris runs a little bit too deep into the corner. Reflow picks up a position. Paris very aggressive with his moves today, but he's up into P5.
Yeah, I've seen some wing fly off of one of those cars as well, so I'm trying to figure out which one it is, if they've got any damage, one of those 3, but I did see something disappear off coming out of the hairpin, but all the front wings look okay at the moment. But Paris is not hanging about, and Reflow neither. He's a lot of good moves going about, a lot of late moves as well, and it just shows you in the braking zone, some of these corners are still quick, as I say, and it means that you don't have much of a braking zone to get it done under braking. You can see the Renault ghosting there, if you on my screen anyway, which is Jay, so he's not managed to get back in the lobby, still having those connection issues, so he will be classed as a DNF if he doesn't get back in to take control of that car. But yeah, I'm just going to jump back up because Poe is going for the inside line into the hairpin on Blizzard. He's got DRS, he's passed it through at the moment, but will Blizzard try to cut back up the inside? He does do. Who's going to get the better traction out of the corner coming down towards turn 7? They're side by side. This is a flat out right-hander, and Blizzard got the inside, takes the place, and Poe late up the inside. That's nearly going to be contact. He's just avoided damage there. Blizzard able to hold off there, but that was good driving from both of them, going through that flat right-hander, because that is quite easily a place where they could have locked wheels up. But Poe is still hunting down that Sauber. The 34 machine is trying to catch up and trying to get past. He's been trying for a few laps now, and he is going to have another go shortly coming up to the hairpin. But Francis still out in front, but the lead's reduced now. It's just over 2.5 seconds as we go into lap 12. It'll be interesting to see if he is now starting to struggle on those soft tyres. You'd imagine he is. They're going to start getting to the point of no return, and they'll be hitting the cliff before long. But Poe is right behind Blizzard. He's going to have another go up the long straight as I trip over my tongue one more time. He's got DRS through the Parabolica heading towards turn 6. Can he get close enough to make the move done? He's got the battery turned up. He's nearly out of battery. He's going for the inside line late on the brakes, and he has managed to get through at the moment. He's trying to park it on the apex, and he's got the move done for now. But Blizzard has got much the better run, and he's side by side into the corner one more time. Oh, that is really good driving from both of them. Blizzard going for the outside into the next turn. They touch wheel to side pod, but Poe has got the move done. But it won't be long before he's pitting with those soft tyres. You could see it on the screen. I certainly did. Blizzard was able to get the better traction out of the corner initially, but when they were side by side and into the Mercedes stand section, Poe had the inside line and just managed to get the move finished. So he's now up to second, Blizzard down to third, but it's a long way from over yet. We're only 13 laps now. We're going on to 34.
Yeah, we're just over the halfway point then, so let's take you through at least some of the standings then. That's the yellow flag up before that though. Is that involving Stam? And it is, yes. Did Stam just get onto the gravel there on the outside of turn 12 there, spun the car around, and Stam there of TUF is having a little trouble there. He's got back onto the track though, no damage, so he'll be able to carry on as if nothing happened. Meanwhile, Blizzard and Poe here battling for position, and I think Poe might have got a bad exit out of turn 4, because that's not normally that move made that quickly, unless of course that is the raw pace of Blizzard on those medium tyres, which is still I'm shocked at saying that. Blizzard 2.2 seconds down on the leader, started on those medium tyres, started from P14, currently finds himself in second place, 2.3 seconds behind the leader, and the gap is closing.
And I'll give you another stat to show you Blizzard's pace. The fastest lap of the race so far, a 1 minute 14.719 from CSR Paris on the soft tyres. Blizzard's fastest lap, a 1:14.729.
Oh, sorry to cut you off there. There's been a bit of a collision there between Reflow and Lambo. Lambo finds himself into the gravel as they try to go side by side into turn 12. And Lambo's race is just taking a huge knock there. He'll have to get back on that horse though and get back on it. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. The camera angle wasn't that great. All I know is they came together. Reflow though still running in P5.
Yeah, I didn't catch that one either, fortunately. Sorry for that one there, but yeah, it's just ruined the bit of his race there for Lambo, and it's not what he wants. Louis looking up the inside though with Josh into turn 2, and it looks like he's got that move done, but they're going to be side by side through the Parabolica. Who's going to have the DRS? It's going to be Jay in the Renault, so he's going to have that move done pretty well before the next corner. But that Sauber looks like it's got the battery turned up, so it's maybe not over as you think, as MLA goes past Reflow into the hairpin as well, and Louis finally gets that move done. As you say, started from last after joining during qualifying session and possibly on a default setup, so it's a good run from him so far in the soft tyres. But we're definitely going to be into the pit stop phase very shortly for those running on the softs, and it'll be interesting to see. I'd imagine they're probably going to go for medium tyres if they come in any time soon. There's still a lot of action going on, and Poe and Blizzard are still not too far apart on the track, up in second and third. Vanquish picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, but there's still plenty going on. You can see Reflow, Louis and Josh all side by side. Francis into the pits, as is Poe and Leon. So here's the pit stops I spoke about as Blizzard takes the lead on those medium tyres in lap 15.
Absolutely. Well, I was just about to say the pit window was pretty much open from lap 13 for the soft tyre runners. For the medium tyre runners, you're looking about lap 18 to 20 for those tyres, unless they want to take them longer then. So Blizzard is in the lead of the race, and his gap to the next car behind is MLA. That is 7.1 seconds right now, but Reflow is not going to take this lying down here. There may be teammates in the car, but they're not teammates right now. So MLA will be looking to try and hold on to that position then. Oh no, sorry, they are teammates. There you go. There's a Murrayism for everybody watching at home. They are actually teammates. So let me rephrase that then. Will we see some team orders between the two of them as we see Francis here on the new set of medium tyres going side by side with that karting there as we head through turn 7 in towards turn 8 here, and the McLaren of Francis, they're having to go wide there, but karting holds firm right now in P7, and Francis there on the new set of medium tyres is going to get a little bit frustrated. He clips the gravel there on the exit of turn 12. That's very risky indeed. We've seen someone else get it wrong there by clipping the wrong part of the tyre onto that gravel, playing very fine with the margins here. Right on the limit is Francis, but he knows he has to make this undercut work. Reflow, Louis and Vanquish all into the pits then. So Reflow putting on a set of medium tyres, away he goes. Obviously the car's already gone, but just a little bit of internet there. But we rejoin with Blizzard then in the lead of the race, 7.8 to the next car, as that's all those pit stops has moved Francis up into P5, chasing down karting once again. He's got the DRS here. Through turn 5 they go. Poe and Lambo are right behind them. Poe who's made a stop, Lambo who hasn't, and you can see there Francis gets the DRS and moves ahead, and I don't think karting put up too much of a fight there going down the straight. He's going to try and prioritise his exit, but he's on old soft tyres right now. He's already stopped once in this race. Obviously he was on the set of ultra softs to begin with, so he might have to make another stop. In fact, he will have to make another stop onto a new set of what I would believe are the soft tyres. He'll probably do ultras and then 2 soft stints as he runs a little bit wide on the exit of turn 11 there. You can see the kart wanting to lose control, but he's held it well though, but he has picked up a 3-second time penalty for his troubles.
Yeah, definitely so. Obviously he was one of them caught up early doors, so he did stop early on the ultra softs. But Francis flying through the field as MLA comes into the pits, and that's him making a stop. 16 laps in those soft tyres, so that's a good result. And that means now that we have a VSR 1, 2, 3. But of course Blizzard and Josh haven't pitted yet, although they are on the medium tyres. So there's still a long way to go in this one yet. But at the moment, if it was to finish like this, VSR would easily, of course, be winning the Week Wi-Fi Solutions Cup, but it's still half the race to go, and there's still plenty of action going on. And we've got 4th, 5th and 6th basically not covered by very much at all. And Lambo's got Slimbo dude not far behind, with Leon just behind the Haas as well. He's going to have a go up the inside. He does. The Mercedes looking up the inside of the Haas into the hairpin, and he has managed to get the move done. Pushes him wide a little bit, but still manages to keep it on the road, and the Mercedes is through. So Leon for Toscania up into 7th place, but Slimbo's not taking this one lying down. Tries to go around the outside, but his tyres are 8 laps older than those of Leon's, and it's just an easy move. Once he got out of the corner, he was able to have the better traction, and away goes Leon. He's going to chase after TTG Lambo next, who's on 16 laps at the moment on the medium tyres. And then obviously we've got karting and Poe just up ahead chasing down at Francis. So VSR 1, 2, 3 at the moment. We've only got 2 drivers out of this race. There's still plenty up for grabs at the moment, and there's still some pit stops to come.
I'll tell you what, there's a bit of scrapping here going on between MLA and Louis here. A little bit of elbows out there, but still this is the battle for 10th place at the moment. MLA defending hard, and as we head up towards turn 2, will Louis try and move up the inside? I think he's going to hold back and wait for the next DRS zone, and see if he can get the better traction into the slipstream and then into the DRS as Poe there makes
Poe's
a move on Lambo. Yeah, he is. Poe into turn 6, gets past Francis. Francis wants to try and prioritise the exit of turn 6, but he can't quite do it. We're going to rejoin then with MLA and Louis then as we head towards turn 6 then. Louis is going to try the undercut there out of the corner, but he just couldn't get the traction down. And these two, if they're not careful, this battle's going to end in tears.
Well, one that nearly did end in tears behind him was Vanquish and Reflow. Reflow up the inside into the hairpin and touched side pods. Vanquish has actually let him go by, maybe felt it was the right thing to do there, but they were basically interlocking wheels through the hairpin. That nearly ended in tears as well. A few time penalties there, including one for Blizzard of 3 seconds. So again, I've mentioned it once or twice already, but the penalties are going to come into effect here come the end of the race, and there's been quite a lot of them. So we're going to hold off until we see the final results. We've obviously got a timekeeper and our point standings taking note of everything, and we'll get the results to you before the end. But Lambo now finally pits on lap 18. Lap 19 it's now started. He goes on to the soft tyres, so he was the first of the medium runners to pits, and he had to replace his front wing as well by the looks of it, so he obviously picked up some damage somewhere, and that was a wing replacement too, so that's cost him a few extra seconds. He rejoins in 13th place, so he's now on the soft tyres, and he was the first of the medium runners to stop. So only Blizzard and Josh, I believe, are the only two drivers, yet they are the only two drivers not to stop yet, are 1 and 2 in the race at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see how long they can make those tyres last, and can they then maybe make them last long enough to maybe try a set of ultra softs. That'd be a risky strategy, but I wouldn't put it past someone to give it a go if they felt it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, just as you were talking there, Andy, Francis made a move on Poe. He's now back up into 3rd place, and off screen on the stream, Louis made the move on MLA. Louis up into 9th place now for TUF, as Josh finally comes into the pits on his medium tyres, all the way down the pit lane. And what tyres will he put on? As expected, it's the soft tyres that will go on. And I'll change of front wing as well for Josh, so that's going to cost him around about 5 or 6 seconds in the pit lane. So not ideal for Josh at all, and for VSR as they go for the long run. But we've got 15 laps to go, still anyone's game. Blizzard leads the way, yet to stop though in this German Grand Prix.
Yeah, and coming up towards turn 6, Poe all over the back of Francis again. These two stopped on the same lap, so there's no difference in the life of those tyres in terms of how long they've been on, at least anyway. And I don't think the Toro Rosso is going to give the McLaren a moment's peace here through the rest of this race. You can see the Ferrari of karting in the background. We expect him to possibly stop again. He's done 14 laps on the soft tyres, so he could be a little bit out of sequence. I'd be surprised if he gets them to the end another 14 laps. That would be some feat to manage that one. But Poe is still chasing Francis down. They've been back and forth. Poe's been ahead, Francis back ahead, and they've repeated it over and over a couple of times now. And it'll be interesting to see down towards the hairpin again next time round if Poe can get close enough under the DRS to make another move on the McLaren and put TTG up another place for the time being. They come down towards turn 2 at the moment. CSR Paris getting a 3-second time penalty. I think that's his second off the race possibly, but we'll just keep an eye on everything. Poe coming up under DRS towards Francis. Battery's turned down though, so he's being a bit strategic about it. Pulls to the inside to just try and put Francis off, but Francis not having any off it, and they go through the hairpin, no problem at all. Further back though, that was Slimbo locking up nearly into the back of CSR Paris there, but he managed to avoid contact, and Louis managing to stay ahead of MLA as well, so still action all the way down the field. And VSR Josh is starting his comeback, making a move on Vanquish up to 11th, so he'll nearly be inside the top 10, as Leon's the next one to pick up a 3-second penalty.
Blizzard into the pits from the race lead, and 14.9 was the gap when he entered the pit lane. It'll obviously go up for the mini sectors that Francis is coming through, and on will go a set of soft tyres. He's got to do 13 laps on them as he goes through the pit crew there, but never mind. But Francis will take back the lead. Where will Blizzard rejoin? He'll rejoin behind Poe though, and there is Leon right behind. Oh sorry, that's Jay, the ghost of Jay. I thought that I'm just creating fake drama now, but Blizzard there rejoins in 3rd place then on a set of soft tyres. Now this is where Poe and Francis have to be careful here. Blizzard is going to be mighty quick then as Josh sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:13.8. Here comes Poe then into the DRS with the slipstream. Down the inside it goes into turn 6. He's got the inside line, but you can see there Francis has taken a wider entry to get a much better exit. As you can see here, going towards turn 7, Francis is down the inside. Through they go, side by side. Still Poe is on the outside. That gives him the inside line for turn 8 as they make their way through now through this S section. They're still side by side as they head on the exit of turn 11, and somehow they stay on the track, and Francis holds on to P1.
Yeah, brilliant actually, a brilliant driving from both of them, side by side through some of the fastest parts of the track there, and obviously Francis using the undercut through the hairpin, taking the wider line in to get a quicker exit by straightening the car up much faster, and he was able to hold that place through the twistier sections past the Mercedes grandstand, so he holds it for now, but Blizzard is catching them up on those soft tyres quite quickly, so it's going to be a three-way battle for the lead before long. But MLA has got all over the back of Louis still, so they're still fighting over 6th and 7th at the moment. Got a wee bit confused due to the ghosting car of Jay going through at the same time, so I thought they were actually fighting there. But the top 3 are in the one screenshot now, coming towards the hairpin. Francis to the middle of the road, Poe to the inside, Blizzard's on the outside, up the inside, touching wheels as they go through. Blizzard's in the perfect position maybe to take advantage. Francis on the grass, couldn't get the traction, and Blizzard up to second. He's going to try and go around the outside. He's going to take the lead. He's going to take 2 places in one go. Phenomenal driving there from Blizzard, and he goes from 3rd to 1st place in the space of a couple of corners. Poe and Francis touching wheels. Francis got on the grass, couldn't get the traction, and Blizzard said, "Thank you very much, I'll have that," and he is away into the lead and got the faster and softer compound tyres. So can he drive away, or can these two keep up with him? But brilliant racing there through the hairpin from all 3 of them to avoid major contact. But Blizzard 3rd to 1st in one go.
Yeah, a great move from Blizzard there as he takes the lead of the race and sets the fastest lap in doing so. He was battling with 2 other cars and he still set the fastest lap of the race. 1:13.1 then as he got slightly onto the gravel there on the exit of turn 2. It doesn't seem to be affecting him too much though, as you'll have to wait and see, Andy. I doubt that Poe and Francis will be able to keep up if they keep battling as well, as we've got yellow flags in sector 3. Not quite sure who it is because I'm not seeing any down arrows on the telemetry, but it's gone now, whatever it was. Here comes Francis then, trying to go up the inside of Poe, in towards turn 6. Poe saw him, steered out of the way, and Francis takes P6 away from him, as Francis just stuck it down the inside and hoped Poe saw him, and he did. Now Poe's trying to go up the inside of turn 7, picks up a 3-second time penalty for his troubles, and Francis takes back P2. These two battling is going to invite the 2 CSR cars of Leon and Paris to quickly close up on them. So Cosconia here handed a lifeline. They're currently 4th and 5th, but as long as Francis and Poe keep battling, this is going to favour Cosconia very well indeed.
Yeah, and while you were watching that battle on the screen, I was watching further down. Kartings made his 2nd stop onto soft tyres, fighting with reflow, and they were banging wheels through the hairpin, and Kartings finally got the move done into the stadium section, so they're fighting along as well. Vanquish not far behind also in the 2nd Ferrari, so action all over the place. MLA still trying to keep tabs with Louis up for 6th and 7th. There's only half a second between them, but the action's all up front, and here comes Poe trying again to have a go at Francis from Blizzard. Already out of DRS detection zone, nearly 2 seconds clear, but here comes the Toro Rosso one more time. DRS open, Francis goes to the inside, Poe to the outside. He's going to have to late the brakes. He's going to try and go around the outside, tries to cut back under, but Francis has got it covered. A bit sideways from McLaren though. It's going to give the Toro Rosso a great chance. That was almost NASCAR style bumper move in there, and Francis able to hold off the position for the meantime. But these two, this is almost about round 9, round 10 now for these two. It's going to continue on to the end of the race, I think. Either that or it'll end in tears.
Absolutely. Well, these two have been putting up such a good battle between each other. As you can see, there's so much respect between the both of them. They're giving each other the space, they're giving each other the opportunity to put on a great show, and they're both evenly matched for now. But who will be in front by that checkered flag? As you say, it's going to be a battle that lasts throughout the race then. Louis has not managed to get away from MLA whatsoever. 5/10 still is the gap. Louis made that move a few laps ago, but he hasn't been able to get away, mainly because of this, the DRS zones out on track there, as we now head through turn 1 with MLA, as he now tries to get the exit absolutely spot on. We're going to jump back on board with Poe and Francis here, because this is round however many now, umpteenth time. These two are battling down this long straight then towards turn 6. Poe has the inside line then going into the corner, but he's run deep, and that's the problem now, because Francis will have a better exit if he can make that traction work. Then you can see how close these two are running as we head towards turn 7. Through they go once again, still giving each other the room then as we head towards turn 8. Francis tries to turn in, and Poe just wasn't enough space. He had to back out of the move once again. Poe stays down in P3 this time around, but yeah, these two are going to battle towards the end of the race, and we have 9 laps to go in this Grand Prix, 8 and a bit if you're picky. And Blizzard leads the way from Francis, Poe, Leon, Paris, Louis, MLA, Josh, Karting, Reflow, Lambo, Vanquish, Slimbo, Stam, Kian and Jay, who has disconnected, so will not be scoring any points.
Yeah, more great racing from the 2nd and 3rd place cars, and at the same time I was watching MLA and Louis through the hairpin, basically doing an exact replica of what Francis and Poe were doing through the turn 6 and turn 7 before Louis got the move done. So these two are still fighting it out just like second and third are up ahead, and they're also on to round goodness knows what as well. If it was a heavyweight title fight, it would be like a 1970s one where it went 15 rounds, because that's exactly what it is. It's heavyweight action up the front. Francis again having to defend. Poe's a bit further back this time though, so Francis can pick his braking point. That Toro Rosso looks good under the brakes, to be honest. That looks to be good, so it gets a bit sideways in the exit, and this battle definitely not over, but all it's doing is allowing Blizzard 3 seconds up the road now on the soft tyres. He can just take it easy almost, hit his apex, he's saved the tyres in case he needs them in the last few laps, as these two fighting is obviously costing them time. Lambo and Reflow are having a fight down in 10th position coming out of the hairpin. Reflow getting onto the AstroTurf from the side, but Talambo is through there, just caught the tail end of that, so he's up to 10th now, making his way back through the field after getting spin earlier on and wing damage when he pitted. So he was up to around about 5th place, if I remember rightly, at one point, and so he's dropped down due to that, and he's trying to make his way back through. Josh also making his way through, but still in 8th place at the moment in the 3rd VSR car, and he's trying to catch up to the battle between Louis and MLA. But back up to the 2nd and 3rd place cars. Here we go, back through the Parabolica curve towards the hairpin one more time. Lap 28.34, and will Poe be able to get close enough this time by? It doesn't look like it, and as you said earlier, all this is doing is allowing those two Mercedes Coscania cars to catch up to this, and we could have a 4-way battle before long.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's not over yet. We've still got 7 laps to go, and anything can happen in those 7 laps, especially if you're running those medium tyres towards the end of the race. There is that risk of punctures. It's happened before, and it could definitely happen again. With these two battling, they are killing their tyres, and it's allowing, as you said, the Coscania brothers to catch up there. Leon and Paris both closing in now. 1.6 Leon is back from Poe. Their tyres are in pretty good nick, but these two, Francis and Poe, their tyres are not going to be in as good nick, and maybe towards the end of the race the Coscania cars could actually have a chance of getting past, because they've managed their tyres much better than lap 29 of this Grand Prix. 6 laps to go. Blizzard leads the way from Francis and Poe. That's your top 3 so far, and as we said, we wouldn't keep you up to date with the points amid all the point scoring. We can't do commentating and point scoring. We're not superhuman. I know Andy might be, but I'm not.
No, I'm definitely not. With everything going on, I've lost count of trying to keep track of the penalties, never mind the point standings, for crying out loud. It's just far too much going on. Here goes Poe one more time up the inside though into the hairpin. He's got to move done, but again Francis is going to do the cutback, and it's going to be all down to who gets the exit better. They're side by side heading up towards turn 7, that fast right hander. There's those two Mercedes in the background lurking side by side into Mercedes stadium section. Poe's got the inside, Francis the outside. Who's going to get better traction? Francis got the inside now, and they're still side by side. Poe runs pretty wide to keep them on the track, and he stays ahead, but he's then ran wide, and Francis has got through. I wonder if Poe's maybe let him through, thinking because he'd ran wide he might have got a time penalty. But again, side by side, and they're just not given an inch, but at the same time so respectful. There's even been a comment and down below, Chris Belko one more time, Francis and Poe hand clapping, and I've got to say I absolutely agree. It's been fantastic racing from these two, but look at the two CSR boys. They're getting ever closer. The more these two battle, it's going to be a 4-way scrap for the podium before long. This is going to be exciting for the last 5 laps.
Absolutely, and if you're keeping an eye on the chat there, that's the latest update. VSR still lead, followed by CSR with 5 laps to go. So we are, I don't know the points, but that's all we know. That's all in the chat from Alan there, as we see Francis and Poe lock horns once again. Poe still trying to go around the outside, but this time he might have a better exit. Still side by side on the exit of turn 6 as they make their way towards turn 7 then, as we're still side by side with them for the umpteenth time, as we see there Lambo trying to go up the Poe go up the inside, but Francis there again, once again, holds on, and he keeps a hold of P2 here. And you can see, look at this, Leon and Paris have closed in so rapidly now. They're now 6/10 behind. This is, like you said, Andy, a 4-way scrap for the podium now.
Definitely so, and I was seeing there, obviously the ghost car of Jay was in front of them, so that could have been interesting if they maybe got distracted by that, but managed to keep it together. We now have a 4-way scrap. It's going to be a Poe getting sideways out of the last corner. It's going to allow Leon possibly the chance to gain a bit of time on him through the DRS zones. And he's got a 3 second, he's gone sideways again. He's nearly got it in the wall. He's trying hard. He got a 3-second penalty for his troubles. Leon had a wee look down the inside there. He couldn't do it, and now Leon's got to deal with Paris behind him. So here we go up to Parabolica. 3rd, 4th and 5th are all going to have DRS. I'm sure Francis has got the battery power turned up to 4 at least. And is there going to be any changes position? The 2 Mercedes side by side, and Paris makes a move in Leon. I doubt there's going to be too much arguing between those two because they are in the same team, of course. So they swap positions for the moment. This is going to be a heck of a run down to the end. And back just down the field from them, 6th and 7th, Louis and MLA are still fighting it out. And just 2.5 seconds back is Josh, still recovering through the field after pitting earlier and having to change his front wing. So there's still battle through the field. Lambo's catching up to Carton as well, so there's everything going on, but we need to keep it with these guys up towards the front. 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th coming on to lap 32. The leader Blizzard 5.4 seconds clear almost now, 5.5 seconds clear on the soft tyres. All he needs to do is just keep it going these last few laps, but this is where the action is. Into turn 1 one more time, they all go flying through. And who is going to get the better run out of this turn 2 and turn 3 through the Parabolica? This is where it's the important part, and it is a lot closer than it was last time. Here we go, round 24 or something now. I've really lost count, and we're going to go one more time, but it's a 4-way scrap now. It's like the WWE fatal 4-ways here. Can anyone make the move? Paul looks to the outside, looks to the inside, down the inside late in the brakes. He's used a little bit of grass, and look at Paris there. Francis wide onto the AstroTurf. They've touched wheels to McLaren and Toro Rosso. Pose through for the moment. They're still side by side using the grass. Paris is there as well. It's a 3-way scrap. This could end in tears if they're not careful, and it's still side by side. Paris still right behind. Leon's got the box off the seat. Probably sell that for about $1,000 right now to get this action, and they're still side by side into the stadium section. This is a fast corner. Francis wide onto the AstroTurf, still side by side. This is phenomenal, and Francis makes the move. Paris up the inside. He's got past Paul. Can he have a go at Francis? He can't just now, and Paul from going up to 2nd drops down to 4th, and I'm out of breath. I'm away to take a drink.
Well, that was absolutely incredible going through turn 12 there, but Francis just still stuck it on the outside. He came so close to the gravel, it almost ended in tears, but he somehow held on to P2 there, and now Paris is looking around the outside. That's the other CSR car of Leon trying to make a move on Poe here, as you see up ahead. Now they're starting to get a little bit of a gap on Poe. I wonder if Poe's tyres are starting to feel the after effect of those battlings here, but you can see here still a 4-way scrap for the podium there. Paris gets the move done, but Francis runs into the back of him, and they both run wide, and Poe could find his way back through again. It's a skirmish now as we go in towards turn 6, now towards turn 7 now. They're still side by side as we make our way through. Francis just still holding on to P2. Paris tries to launch it down the inside again. They make contact, and Poe here has just got to be careful, as has Leon here, because Paris has got his way through, and well, I'll tell you what, he's got his way through. He found his way through, he made the gap there, and up into P2 he goes. Francis and Poe, who have been battling for so long, have fallen into their own trap. One of the Cosconia cars has jumped them now, and Leon there sandwiches them now. So Cosconia up into P2 and P4, and this is their own doing here as we head onto the final lap of this exciting race. This has absolutely been absolutely brilliant. Blizzard here has just been in a race of his own. He's not had much to do since his second stop, but or his first stop I should say, onto his second stint. He's just kept the car on the road. That's exactly what he needed to do. But I tell you what, the heart rate of the guys from P2 to P5 must be off the charts right now. At least 300, at least. But we're not done yet though. Francis will have a look at Paris, will he? He'll try and switch back. Goes down the inside now, in towards turn 6. He's got the move done. There is a little bit of contact, and Paris now loses out. Leon now up into P3, and Poe's now down to P5. Poe for a second ago was battling battling for P2. Now he finds himself down in 5th place as now Leon tries around the outside of Francis here as we head through to turn 8. And now through turn 9, they're going to be side by side once again. But Francis somehow holds on to P2. This is absolutely brilliant. But now they're going to try and make it 3 wide going into turn 12. And how they all escape that one, I do not know. Calm it down a little bit, because here comes Blizzard. He wins the race here in Germany. Francis here, I think, is just about going to hold on to 2nd place without penalties. We'll have to see how the penalties come into action here. But what a battle between those 4. Francis crosses the line in P2 there. Leon jumps.
Leon goes 2nd, Paris 3rd.
Yeah, so Francis and Poe had penalties there, so Leon and Paris, the Cascania cars, jumped them both there, but that was heart-in-mouth stuff all the way through those final couple of laps. We have a look down there at the others there. MLA finished in 5th place there, Louis in 6th there, so Louis had penalties, so MLA jumped him on that. Poe finishing in 7th place after penalties there. Josh finishing heartbreakingly 1/100th of a second behind Poe after penalties there. Lambo in P9. We've got Karting there in P10, Reflow in P11, Vanquish P12, Slimbo in P13. Kian will come across the line in P14 and Stam in P15. The winner of the race is Blizzard here. Faultless drive from him on his 2nd stint. But I'll tell you what, the headline is going to be that battle for P2. We'll be talking about that for a long, long time, Andy.
I think I've just woke the neighbours' kids up. I don't know, I was actually mic off screaming. I was trying to keep it off and not cut in. Unbelievable stuff from those 4 in the last laps. I'm going to put it here, I think that was actually better than the esports stuff. There you go, I called it right now. But amazing stuff. But Blizzard, brilliant race, medium tyres at the start. He had such pace and he just made it work and he was able to just disappear. But the action was 2nd, 3rd and then 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th as the CSR boys closed in. Time penalties obviously have came into effect, putting them up, so it'll be interesting to see what the standings are. We will wait for the official adjudication, of course, but there is your results. Penalty, everybody's got at least a 3-second penalty. Look at that. Blizzard takes the win for VSR, but of course it doesn't mean they've won the standings yet, so we'll wait for the officials. Leon and Paris 2nd and 3rd for Casconia, VSR Francis in 4th, MLA in 5th place after penalties for F1 TS Hub. Louis in 6th place, good result after coming in late to the race for TUF2. Poe in 7th with penalties after all that frantic battling with Francis and then the 2 CSR boys. Josh in 8th, Lambo in 9th, Karting in 10th, Reflow 11th, Vanquish till Slimbo 13th, Kian 14th, and it will show last was Stam, and then we had, I think it was Jay, but obviously he was disconnected so he's a DNF. But I am absolutely knackered. That was brilliant, and I'm going to put my neck out and say it's probably going to be better than tomorrow's Brazilian Grand Prix.
Well, I am lost for words. That, you know, there you go. The battling there was intense. You all have your opinions in the chat there. We will keep the stream open for now. We're waiting for Alan here to tally up all the points, and once he knows those, he'll post them in the chat there, so we'll find out at the same time as you. But well, there's so many options for driver of the day. I think Louis has got to be up there as one of the drivers of the day. His battling with MLA, he finished, I believe it was best at P7, was it? Because he got jumped by MLA of penalties, but still, take nothing away, he had to come from the back of the grid, no qualifying for him, and possibly a default setup. You also had Blizzard there, who had his qualifying run compromised. In fact, the lead up to his qualifying lap compromised. He found himself into the gravel with 14 seconds to go. All would have timed it perfectly to get onto a flying lap there. Qualified P14, came home for the win. I mean, there's not a lot more you can do to get drive of the day than that one. Don't know, Andy. How about you?
No, it's too many. I'm keeping an eye on the chat because some people are saying about the action it was amazing. Some of them saying some of the CSR boys they felt were a little bit dirty is what some of the chat's saying. Do remember, of course, that what we see is what we expect the drivers to see, but there can sometimes be a little bit of difference due to the internet connections and stuff like that, so it doesn't necessarily mean there was all of that going on. But as someone said in the chat, enjoy it for what it was. We'll obviously hear from the drivers at some point later on their own Twitter feeds and all sorts of stuff as we wait for the top points. But yeah, Blizzard from having his qualifying compromise to the win. Amazing race from him. Jay, obviously default setup, or most likely, sorry, Louis it was, sorry, with a default setup, and most likely joining at the back. And that was brilliant from him to get so far up. He was 6th place, had a good battle with MLA. I'm going to put it on the two drive. I'm going to give it to Francis and Poe just for all of that action, because that was nearly more than half the race. Those two were side by side, so I'm going to give it to both of those two personally, just for giving me such a brilliant, and giving everyone watching a brilliant night's worth of entertainment, because that was absolutely fantastic.
Well, thank you everyone for watching, by the way. It's been great having you. Great having your opinions as well, comments throughout the race. Look at that, 37 watching right now. It's not even any racing going on. We're all just waiting for the result. Over 230 comments, 240 comments now. That is absolutely amazing. You guys are
amazing.
You've really outdone yourselves this time. So great interaction, and I think on that alone, it's been a pretty successful night. Hopefully Alan is doing all of the points. Of course, it does take a while. It's alternate points, and you have to take into fact that some drivers like Jay disconnected, so it means they don't count as points. Anyone who didn't finish doesn't score any points. So we are just waiting now and seeing who has won overall. And as soon as we know, we will let you know. And that's all we can do right now, Andy.
Yeah, definitely so. I was trying to work out myself, but I didn't get everybody in the list that finished the race, so I can't even try and do it myself to get an idea. But just brilliant racing. And someone asked, did somebody quote their opinion, dirty drivers get punished? It is just purely off of the steward in the race. So there's going to be no stewarding afterwards. The race result is what it is. We're just waiting for the points now. Obviously, everybody wants to win for their team. They're fighting for their honour of their team as well as their own individual personal honour. But obviously, we all do this for fun. We all want to win, but we all want to enjoy it. And although, yep, there was some touching and some bits and bobs going on, for me, what I see, I don't know about you, Kieran, I don't think much of the driving was too dirty, to be honest. It was on the limit, granted, yes, but to what I seen from what I was sitting watching, was on that limit, but just and no more. I don't think it quite overstepped it. I don't know what your opinion is, because everybody's having their opinion in the chat, and the CSR boys especially are getting a bit of tough love.
Well, I mean, it's happened now, hasn't it? I mean, there's not a lot you could change, but if that's the way you race, Verstappen's very aggressive. He will make contact. Senna very famously punted Alain Prost at a Japanese Grand Prix, and that didn't go punished at all. Even though
1989
Senna,
championship, yeah.
Well, was it 1980? Well, that's the Casio triangle. I'm talking about the one into turn 1.
Oh, 1990, sorry, yeah, I'm getting mixed up.
To be fair, both work. But I think with a little bit of lag in between each car, it's not perfect between each car, it's not perfect connection. So I'd say, it's very hard to tell whether there was contact, whether there wasn't, whether that was a bit of debris or whether that was a bit of tyre carcass there. We'll never know. But one thing's for sure, it had us on the edge of our seats.
It certainly did, and that's what I'm trying to say. Obviously, with what's going on, unless we could see it from the actual driver's view, you can't tell, because obviously there is that internet. There can be that bit with lag sometimes, makes it look like there's some contact, or they're sliding out the corners, or maybe they're not. So obviously you've got to take that into consideration. But either way, it was amazing to watch, no matter what. And obviously we're still waiting on the tallies coming through. Hopefully it won't be long now before Alan is able to get the tallies. As I say, if I got all the standards, I got down to Slimbo in about 10th or 12th place, I think. I didn't quite catch the last two, and I'd try and work it out myself just to help along. But obviously we've still got people waiting in the chat to find out, to be sure. But we are just waiting for that finale of the points. Don't know if you've had any word through yet, Kieran, but that is all we're waiting on just now. But a brilliant race regardless. I think we're just going to take it as we see it and just enjoy the action. I'm sure, obviously, everyone's got their own social medias and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll hear about it going forward, and we might even see some point of view videos up on YouTube in the next few days as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all we're waiting for now. We're all got our pencils and paper out here, working it out all together. Yeah, as soon as we know, we will let you know. This is the problem with letting me count. It's not going to end well, but as soon as we know, we will of course let you guys know.
There's Alan posting it now. So provisional top 2, provisional results. VSR 52 points take the win. CSR Coscania second with 41. We'll get the other points in a moment. He's just posted the top 2 provisional results there and the points. So it looks like that VSR Racing are going to take the Week Wi-Fi Solutions Cup there, if those points tallies are correct, with Cosconia taking second in the points, and we're just waiting for the last bits to find out who else won. I think we looking at some of the results there and who finished where, I'd done a bit of rough calculation in my head. I thought VSR had it, but again, with the penalties and stuff, the Coscania boys obviously took second and third, so that put me off a wee bit trying to figure it out. There we go. So TS Hub 27 points, TT Gaming on 22 points. So the only 2 we don't know at the moment is TUF2 and IRC F1. So Alan will be posting in just a moment, but it is VSR who take the win in the Week Wi-Fi Solutions Cup, helped of course by that first place from Blizzard, with the Coscania boys taking second and third on the road after time penalties, and they take second in the cup standings as well.
Absolutely, and you have to remember that CSR had one retirement. They obviously lost Billy in the race, and there you have it. IRC 22 points, TUF 17. So those are the provisional results, and that is what we will end the stream on. VSR have won the Week Wi-Fi Solutions Esports Cup. Second place CSR, third place TS Hub, fourth place TTG, fifth place IRC, and sixth place TUF. And Andy, that brings us to the end of what has been a very eventful night, in both races. And I just want to say thank you very much for everyone for watching along. Go and follow all of the leagues involved, including the guys in the A Logo Cup as well. It's been absolutely fantastic. Good racing throughout. Drama is an understatement, but Z3 asking, are there any interviews? Well, no. After a race like that, Z3, we're exhausted, having to work out points and everything. We're going to leave it as it is. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching, having your opinions as well. Over 260 comments is just, well, it's just amazing, really. So thank you everyone for watching. Andy, I don't know if you've got anything final to say before I sign off.
No, again, everybody that watched, I think the highest I've seen at one point was just shy of 50 viewers at one point. I see over 200 plus comments. It's just brilliant to just see so many people getting involved. We hope that, I certainly hope, and I'm sure you're the same, Kieran, that we, done justice for you guys with the commentary on what was some absolutely spectacular racing, regardless of what your opinion is on it. If just from a pure entertainment point of view, it was absolutely top notch, and I've not seen anything like that for a long time. Go and go and follow some of the leagues, as you say. Go and you find them on Twitter and all sorts. Obviously, yeah, I've lost words now what I'm going to say, but it's absolutely brilliant to see so many people watching. Thank you for spending your Saturday evening listening to myself and Kieran.
And also with Steph and Dave earlier on tonight, they did a fantastic job. So congrats to them as well. All the leagues as well, not only TT Gaming, but you've also got Cosconia, IRC, AMZQ, who I think only formed about a week ago, and they've still got themselves a great team together. As I look for the other sheet now, F1 TS Hub, TUF, VSR as well. Thank you everyone for getting involved and joining us for what was a fantastic Saturday night. And of course, go and follow them. Go follow all the leagues. We're all in this together. It's we don't get together on these nights too often, so when we do, it's action-packed to say the least. But this is it now. I said about 5 minutes ago we were going to end the stream, and this is it now. Thank you everyone for watching. I've been Kieran McGinley.
And I've been Andy Campbell.
Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time.
Ta-da.